See, I want you to touch upon ego as well, because
Ah,
I think we've spoken about a little bit of coming out of the closet point. But for every freelancer, when they come out, every freelancer thinks that, he's got some innate talent in him, that, he wants to come out and become a freelancer. But how do they handle that ego of, a freelancer coming out and thinking, okay, I'm going to be welcomed with open arms. Whatever I'm going to touch is going to be gold. How do they handle that? That's a very important aspect which a
that's a
freelancer.
great question. See, I think that is something that I feel it's like a test of fire. Unless you get beaten up left, right, and center, that is the only answer. You cannot, what applies to me cannot need not apply to you. I think what matters is, here's the thing, right, Giri. Again, I use the example of romance and love because that's something we all innately understand, right? Tell me something. If you're passionately in love with a girl, your focus is only the girl, right? You're driven by love for the girl. How many ever people block you? How many ever people say that even if your friend says, "I Giri, you'll never get the girl," will you believe them?
No, I
You
would not.
may there you six pack, seven pack. That guy has this pack. This you have family pack. I have this pack. அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணும் இல்ல அந்த பொண்ணு எனக்கு தான் அவ்வளவுதான். From where does that confidence come? That confidence comes from your obsession and passion for that girl. I'm not talking about stalking. I'm talking about the correct way of doing things, right? Until that girl says no, at least you will have the confidence, right? And the பயமும் இருக்கும், confidence இருக்கும். But that is something that you cannot help it away, right? It will be there. Your ego will take a beating because all the people around you will know that you have a certain goal, and now by quitting you have announced the goal, so now everybody will have an opinion about it. You are saying that I'm going to become the Prime Minister of India by standing for election, right? Everybody will only tell you, what will they tell you? Hey, how can you become this? That is what they're going to tell you, including your clients who may have worked with you within your corporate uh, in equal terms. They would have given you a certain respect because you signed the check for the client. Now they are signing a check for you. They will treat you as a baby, as a first timer, and I think there is a certain beauty about that because uh, 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 that is the way, that is the path of the hero. There is no path of the hero without obstacle, without ridiculing, without that. You have to, a baby has to fall, a baby has to keep falling, and trying and crying until it one day jumps up, you know. And for me, one thing that has helped me through this phase of this ego handling is again the love for that angel called filmmaking, which I'm obsessed with. The question I cleared in my head was, uh, what if I'm a bad director? What if I don't know this job? Uh, would I leave filmmaking? I said no. I'll be an AD. What if I'm a bad AD? It's okay. I'll be a production assistant. What if I'm a bad product? I'll serve tea. I will clean the set, but I cannot imagine a life without being on the film set. For me, that clarity was there.
Uh,
Luckily, clarity was there for me, and my obsession with cinema was there so much that I'll do anything inside the film industry, not only direction or whatever. I cannot imagine doing anything else. So I think that amount of obsession is something that if you have, that will help. If not, you'll have to consider whether you know whether this is an affair you're having or a long-term relationship you want to have with the freelancing career.
I asked that question because, when I came out of corporate, I always thought, I was a star performer before I quit 3 years on the row. I was a rock star performer, and I had great appraisals, great bonus, and great hikes, which was away from the median. And when I came out, and when I decided I'm going to go out and to provide these services of mine, this talent of mine to the external world, I thought, okay, I'm going to be embraced with open arms, and people are going to just throw out money at me. But it was a rude shock. I mean, my first, not first, third or fourth gig, one guy called me for a marketing consulting gig, and then he asked me, okay, sell this mobile phone to a 14th century farmer. I was like, dude, I've I've proved myself for the last 12, 13 years. I mean, why should I, do like a pitch like a 21-year-old would do? And these were rude shots. I did not get that gig because I was arrogant at that point in time. But then I came back with retrospect, and then probably that's not how the world perceives you as well. They look at you as another talent, and they're putting money on you, and they need to sort of make sure they're putting the money in the right place. So I asked that question primarily because ego plays a very important part for the.
So even when I went from Tamil to Bombay, I was very clear that yes, they'll have a certain respect for me because they really loved Kalyana Samilsadam, but I'm a newbie there, And even now, if I want to do something very different from what I'm already doing, I will always be a newcomer. But then I feel, which is why I also named my company as Eklavya, I realized early on that you can either hold on to your ego or you can learn and grow. It's a very, very clear choice. And this ego keeps coming. In the first job, you would have had an ego later. This ego will keep coming. You have to keep conquering that ego. Where you have to draw the line is when it becomes self-respect, right? When it hits your self-respect beyond, then of course, each one defines it in different ways. But I think that better to look at it as, a long learning experience. So that's why I named my company as Eklavya Productions. I want to be a student all my life. The student doesn't have ego, no?
Correct.
So that's why I keep telling outside also that when I give interviews also, though they don't publish that phrase which I use, I say as a student of cinema. And then but not many people actually put that as a student. They put it as filmmaker Prasanna has said. But I call myself student of cinema because when I say I'm student of cinema, then they don't expect me to be an expert. I can make mistakes. I can learn a lot. And finally, like I said, it's comes down to this, Giri. Like, if I love a girl, I want to be with a girl. It's not important to me what the world is looking at me as. If I love a girl, I should forget the world, including my ego and everything, right? So in that sense, it's spiritual, romance and spiritual in the same thing. But Guna is obsessed with Abhirami. He doesn't care two hoots if somebody takes a photo of their wedding. Where is the ego? Let people keep calling. People keep in Guna. People keep calling him insane. People say that he has no brains. But finally, he got Abhirami, right?
Correct.
So it is that fantasy that should drive you, and I think that the ego is very, very much important because without ego you can't come out. You can't create. It's a very ego is not a bad word, but you need to keep it in check. Again, have these conversations with yourself. Keep having this conversation. Okay, today I felt this. Sleep over it. Next day you may feel a little better, right? Then you decide whether you want to let your ego come in the way of this job. Maybe you need the money. Maybe you need the learning experience. Maybe you need the credit. Conquer the ego once, then it will become a habit. Because many times you feel like you want to walk out of projects, and then you realize that walking out is actually very easy. Staying in the crease, staying in the bouncy track, and fielding those Yorkers and those bouncers, very difficult.
Very difficult. Proving is very difficult. And once you prove, I think everyone on the freelancing community would agree. Once you prove, this person is going to keep coming back to you again and again. And you said one important thing, which is about student of cinema. And learning is very important in the freelancing world also. I mean, every now and then we feel we have arrived, okay, and we stop there and we start giving the same thing again and again. But you have to evolve as well, because technology, anything you take is evolving around you, right? So that's a beautiful thing which you said. Now the other question is on money, but that will that's a
do that in the next topic, because
next topic,
this time I want to do a topic. So closing in, guys. It's obviously been way longer than 15 minutes. They keep telling me that you make the videos as crisp as possible, but I think we had a fun time. I hope our viewers also find it fun. But what I wanted to say was that each topic, like for example, I want to talk about handling delicate issues like money talk with a client. Each of them I want to do in a different managing time, as a freelancer? Like, how do you have discipline as a freelancer when you don't have a boss? So typical stuff which a freelancer probably goes through. Let me throw my insight into it. The rest of the information about freelancer, it's all available on the Google, right? You can, today, knowledge is available everywhere. It's only experiential stories that probably is not. And this series is an effort to get freelancers like Giri to come talk to me. I talk to them. We get to explore a little bit because we are in the same boat or in the same blood, as Vadivali would say.
I mean, thanks a lot for doing this. I mean,
Thank you, Giri.
every freelancer would sort of thank you for such a topic, because not many speak about freelancers, and not many freelancers speak about themselves as well. So this is a good
No,
opportunity.
I think whoever benefits out of this, great. And in the end, I just want to end with my this is something that I always try to plug, like an evangelist who plugs the Bible as much as possible. So this is the equivalent of my Bible, which is the founder and Ayn Rand. This is very important. I know, Giri, when you see the thickness of this book, you will get a little scared.
Yeah, I know.
But maybe it's on Audible. You can read it.
Yeah.
So this book truly helped me to sustain my strength through all the struggling years and even now, because it's a story about an architect. And architects are like filmmakers, like any freelancer. So it's about an architect with a deep vision about how he wants to completely change architecture, and how every single obstacle, they don't give him a break, or they give him a break and ask him to change his designs here and there because their cousin or their 10-year-old kid wants a pink color or something. So you relate to every single thing, because client experiences, and how he sustains through all that and what happens in the end. Of course, it's a deeply philosophical book, and not many people agree with the philosophy. I do, and my wife doesn't. So it's a great book. It has sustained me through many years. And the favorite quote from this book, which applies to this, is very, very beautiful and very inspiring. Howard Roark is the name of the architect, and when he's rejecting clients, he rejects clients when he doesn't have money because the projects are not exciting. So somebody asks him that, don't you want to make money? What's wrong with you? You're poor, do something. So he says a very, very heroic line. And I always imagine this in Rajinikanth's voice or something, right? So he says, I don't build in order to have clients. I have clients in order to build.
Wow, super.
Walt Disney said a similar thing. So he says, I don't make movies to make money. I make money to make movies. So
Wow.
these kind of punchlines, you have to read when the client puts you down, completely smashes your ego. How do you bounce back? Come back to the fountainhead, read these lines and pump yourself and yeah! Punchline, because you got to wake up and go right there and face the battle, right? You have to be on the crease. You can't give up.
Correct. Just conquer that fear, insecurity, everything, and you take inspirations from everywhere. Amazing.
Yeah, and thanks, Giri. Thank you so much for coming over. Next topic, we'll talk about money handling, money talk, and Giri will be there for that also.
Yeah, strategy is something. How do you strategize? How do you handle? And more importantly, like what you just mentioned, how do you say no, to a client? That's a very important thing for freelancers.
Yeah, you can say no to a client when certain ethical issues are there, so many issues. So we'll talk about all these, everything that you wanted to know about the F word, freelancing.
Yeah, freelancing. That's lovely. Yeah, super. Thanks a lot, Prasanna.
Thank you, Giri. And hey, if you want a great designer, especially kind of make your snazzy PPTs, lots of stuff Giri does, you need to check him out.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, please do feel free to contact me. We'll find out a way to sort of put the number, but feel free to contact me on any design and content related. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you. Thank you, Giri.
Take care. Thanks,
Bye.
Prasanna. Bye.
Bye.